you want to build a business, I think what Japanese are doing.
Every campus, every organization, every institution runs on communication, right? So but here's the problem: most of it happens on WhatsApp groups or forwarded messages or emails, and random emails, and zero, and there is not much accountability in that. So nobody knows who's responsible.
I want to be very precise about this because this coordination problem is more than the carbon emission problem. So this human coordination problem is costing 1.2 trillion dollars for the US economy alone.
Why are WhatsApp and email not enough?
WhatsApp and email are not enough because, see, if you take WhatsApp, it doesn't have a compute layer. You don't track institutions. As an institution, if you go, you can't track what you have sent, right? What you have communicated before. Who has communicated, what role, or how many decisions were taken. Identity first software change the equation. Yes, everything relates to identity, right? Who you are for the organization is more important than what you do, right? What you do becomes negligible, right? Who you are in the organization. So that's how you enforce terms in the organization. Every step of your journey needs to be unlearned because you are seeing lots of different things. Every individual is unique in this world, I would say, because everyone has a different genetic code, and in this point and time and space, everyone has a different responsibility to do. So if you approach anyone at this point in time and space, or if I'm speaking to Abhinan, he's doing something very much greater to the people, right?
Yeah. Every campus, every organization, every institution runs on communication, right? So but here's the problem: most of it happens on WhatsApp groups or forwarded messages or emails, and random emails, and zero, and there is not much accountability in that. So nobody knows who's responsible, nobody knows what's official. What if communication wasn't chaotic but identity based, structured, and reliable? Today's my guest is exactly building that and solving that problem. So, hello sir, welcome to the founders room, and everyone who's watching, welcome to the founders room as well. So before we begin, it would be greatest honor for me if you subscribe to my channel so that I can bring in some of the best guests for us to learn together. Hello sir, welcome.
Hi, Abhinan.
How are you sir?
Yeah, we are doing good, and everything is evolving at a very right pace, I would say. And collaborating with you is going to take me ahead, I believe. Yes, and I very much uh, want to connect with the audience uh, in the next for the next steps as well.
Sure sir, sure.
Thank you.
I mean, this is the first step we all have to take. So yeah, and you're taking it, and it's good for that. So, before we begin, I just want to say that there are two segments in this. Yep, segment one is more about you and less about the company, and segment two is more about the company and some fun stuff, and some about the mindset and advices as well. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So before I begin my first segment, I and my audience want to know who you are, what you do, without telling anything about what you're building currently. We can go through it later on in this interview.
Okay. My name is Sridharan Soundaya. Uh, to start with, I would start about the background where I come from, my father and mother comes from, because that will have relevance in what I do today as well. My father comes from a poor background. He's coming from a weaving family, and yet he was the person who got the first rank in all his school, from class uh, 1 to class 12. He was the first ranker. And my mom too, she's a hard worker, and she also used to get top ranking in schools as well. So mostly my parents are education oriented, and so uh, when I was in primary school, I was enrolled in various classes, various extracurricular activities like art forms of things like music, violin, and etc. So I learned many skills at a very early age, which uh, has led me, which has given me exposure at very early age. And uh, to say spirituality has been a part of my journey that was shaping me to where I am now, right? So, in order to answer your question, what I am is my so most of my journey was I spent on reading books or searching Google and understanding and reflecting what I learned. So most of my journey was uh, getting enrolled in various classes or various forms of arts. Curiosity has driven me here until now. So that's what. Uh,
Yes, sir.
uh,
So, I mean, at the end of the day, we are all, I mean, not all in the same order, but we are curious beings. I am
yeah.
curious about things that interest me, and likewise, everyone. So, yes,
Yes.
sir. Let me ask you something. So, when you see chaos in communication, do you get irritated or inspired? I
So
mean, inspired to
chaos,
change it.
chaos in communication is not inspiration for me, because due to chaos in communication, I see people don't get to next steps. So I feel not much of an irritation, but as a responsibility of irritation, right? I'm a kind of that. I want to fix that. So initially, when communication was chaotic, when I saw, I want to take steps to fix the problems of people. I want to teach people to enable them uh, to unlock their awareness level. So the my initial work was on human understanding. That part shaped me to build technology that would enable communication in a better way.
Yeah. So, what was the first time you experienced communication failure at mass scale?
So the communication failure has been a part of the ecosystem, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So in everywhere, people do not know to communicate, because uh, I see I classify this as a four-level framework. The first one is the informing the knowledge, right? Whatever knowledge you got, it has to be informed or retrieved. So this is the first level of communication. The second level is analyzing and discussing stuffs. So that forms the second level of communication. And the third is enforcing the communication. And the fourth one is regulating the communication, right? So this is what I see in communication work. Yeah, to your question, right? Uh, what was the exact point that you said?
So I said that when did you experience the failure?
Yeah, the failure is it relates to time and space. There's four levels of communication. So previous era, if you see, we are in the social media era. We were analyzing and discussing stuffs. So this is not the failure of human beings or the failure of uh, various systems in the society, but I see it as a failure of time and space So this happens because this time and space exist, and we have not uh, gone further to fix it because of the predecessors who we have. So the previous generations who treated communication in a different way, right? So it is an outcome of uh, your previous generations, I would say.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get into the space because my education, right, provided me enough of knowledge to build a company, right? But the uh, opportunities weren't aligned at that time. So that's when I hopped onto a journey of understanding, educating myself on various aspects of business, and to this day I have exposure on most part of the business that has enabled me to start a completely knowledge based business. And for your thing, so you said I have been having companies, right? I did not have companies, but I unknowingly, recently I discovered, unknowingly I was building products at that time while I was educating myself. I was building unknowingly products at that time that to this moment it became useful for me to uh, showcase to people. Like, for example, I develop frameworks which are
Yeah.
patentable, which
Yeah.
can be implemented in any industry. So I did that, and this became useful in learning technology to a greater extent and implementing it. And uh, I'm a solo founder building a company in communication, and I see a lot of scope and potential within myself, the company, and as well as the world.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what is your current company now? What is the name of it?
Yeah, my current company is Querly Labs.
Yeah.
Querly Labs is,
Just the name. Just the name. Just the name. We shall go in the coming
yes,
session. Yeah.
yeah.
So, were you always someone that obsessed with structure and clarity?
So to begin with, I was uh, very much obsessed with structure and clarity, I should say, because the first thing I started my journey was to understand the ethics of doing business. So the this is the subject where I started, because the leadership, communication, uh, and ethics all was about structure and clarity. The way you communicate, the way you do business, um, how you organize in those levels. So all were pointing to what you want. So the previous generation, my father and my mother, I would say it is about informing and retrieving the knowledge, and uh, analyzing and deciding stuff was much in when I was in the school days. And now comes the regulation part, through which I want to establish structure and clarity in communication, and through my company and everything.
Yeah. So, were you? I mean, when you were in school, are you that organized?
See, in my school, I wasn't. In my primary school, I'm
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
primary school and middle school, I wasn't a good learner, I would say, because I was exposed to various activities, and I had interest in various activities too. I was a curious learner at that time, but I wasn't shaping to my subjects well. But the point came when I was in 10th board exams and 12th exams. That's when my father directed me some through some advice. So after immediately I started to very sincerely. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I started studying very deeply. And through that, I got 87 and 91 percentage in my 10th and 12th.
Amazing.
So,
Amazing.
yeah.
So, if you have to say that briefly in one sentence, so that it will be helpful for the kids in this generation, what would that be? Your
One
father's advice.
sentence.
Yeah, can you summarize your father's advice in one sentence so that it will be helpful for the kids of this and generation?
Yes. So if you want to help your family, right? If you want to help your family, you have to be good enough to support them, right? So in order to do that, you need studies, right? So he was pointing to the studies, right? Only when you learn, you can support your family. Otherwise your family will be lagging behind. So at so it is not through support or anything, but what I feel is that until the 10th class, my I used to get my father was a very uh, rude or something like that, I would say. uh, I don't used to get good grades because I think that is very uh, what to say, rude behavior when I don't get good marks, right? Initially, I don't know why I did not get good marks, because I was exposed to various forms of activities at an early age. But I was conscious enough that learning is what uh, takes you higher and to the next level.
Yeah.
So I don't take or I don't consider that my parents only say that, but it was into me. So my father and mother are both, they are very good students when they were in schools. And I'm as well very responsible. I was curious at that time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't only having a good master, I would say, because every student will have a different orientation. So my orientation was not guided to me till my 10th. That one I would say.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
it had been guided at an early age, then the thing is different. So this is where communication plays a key role. What I call as functional communication, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Functional
Yeah.
communication is what you want to communicate to people. You have to communicate that. Other than that, if you communicate, it is going to be a noise. So this is what functional communication simply is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when we spoke before, you said that you said something about Japan and 10 years. What is that?
Japan.
I mean, you said that in Japan, if they want to start companies, they take at
Yes,
least 10
yes,
years. What
yes,
is that?
yes. So when after my graduation I came, I want to start a business. I had some ideas, right? I want to try out my ideas. When I went to my father and said, I do not want to go for them, but out of my education and my knowledge, I thought I would approach my father for this. And that's when he said, if you want to build a business, think what Japanese are doing. He said at that time, uh, so they would take 10 years to learn a business. So that idea caught me very clearly. And uh, that's a direction guidance for me
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. Yeah. Have
Yeah.
you have you ever had political or bureaucratic turbulence?
Political or bureaucratic turbulence, I don't have anything.
Good. Good, because people stuck in that. So, and
Yeah.
most of the people can't come out of it. Do you believe most problems in institutions are technological problems or accountability problems?
Institutions are accountability problems and technological problems, I would say, because uh, this one I wrote. So everything converges to a point, and everything converges for a reason, I would say. If you talk in terms of biased ways of thinking, like if there is a technology problem or there is a accountability problem, you are going to just talk and stand for one reason, right?
Okay. Okay.
You will not be a person who solves the problem. So you need to think in terms of both so that you get to a conclusion and you take a step further and do some actions to get out of the problem.
Is identity more powerful than software?
Oh, yeah. So identity is a part of the software, right? So it's a so everywhere. So like in organizations, before digitalizations, we had organizations which are born with identities only, right? So in digitalization, after digitalization also, in software, you need identity which sits on top of the software. So identity is what drives your software.
Yeah, good. So, what was your belief about communication? Did you have to unlearn?
See, every step of your journey needs to be unlearned because you are seeing lots of different things. Every individual is unique in this world, I would say, because everyone has a different genetic code, and in this point and time and space, everyone has a different responsibility to do. Because so if you approach anyone at this point in time and space, or if I'm speaking to Abhinan, he's doing something very much greater to the people, right? So his role is different. So I have to unlearn at
Yeah,
every stage of life.
true, true.
So this process of unlearning is more related to every moment of
True.
your journey.
True, true. While you said that, I have an idea that I do this all the time. So before coming to the interview, I know a bit. I do some research part about. Let's say you are my guest, right? So I do some research about you and what you do in your company and what your company does. But before coming to this interview, I have to forget everything and I have to learn from you what is it actually you're doing, so that me and my audience will learn together. So yeah, yeah, that's amazing, sir. That's amazingly put you. So uh, fun part. So um, how many WhatsApp groups are you in?
uh, I'm a part of like 5 WhatsApp groups.
Okay. Yeah.
Five
So
WhatsApp groups.
and does does clarity increase productivity?
uh, Clarity, if clarity is bigger, then clarity will shape productivity, right?
Yeah.
If productivity is bigger, productivity will influence clarity. So
True.
that's how
True.
it goes.
Yeah, they have to go hand in hand.
Yes,
So does accountability increase responsibility?
definitely accountability will increase responsibility. As I say, the so everything has a dynamic, right? Everything is interfaced with or interlinked with everything in this world. In this world and universe, nothing is disjointed.
Yeah.
So if you say every action of something will relate to something, that will relate to something, and that will influence us, right?
True. True.
So everything is
Interconnected.
joined.
Sir, I'm not a techie and I'm someone who is learning all the time. So, for me, how do you explain soft power distribution?
Yes, soft power distribution is so when you want to do something, you don't have a direction, right? When you start, you don't have a direction. You have to stick to this time and place, and then only you can decide, right?
Yeah.
So, so you take the first step with the direction do you with which what you have in your mind. So it can be a career, it can be of education, it can be of your entrepreneurship as well. So when you are starting with education, so you can uh, interact with a lot of people like you, right? There are lots of avenues to do build powers, power
Yeah.
packets, I would say.
Yeah.
So these power packets can later stage of your life can help you in some form. So this is what I call as soft power. So everything that you do will be a power packet that you can save and you can reuse it later.
Yeah, yeah. So, at what moment did you say this isn't just a messaging problem? This is an identity problem, and Query Labs was born. What moment? I just want to know the
Yes.
moment.
Oh yeah. So when I was building a specific feature in the messaging of my super app, earlier it was super app and now it is shifted to institutional communication app. So I was building this feature called handles. So that's when I saw it like an organization. It's a digital twin of kind of organization. That's when I saw it as an institutional problem. That's what shifted me. But earlier, when I was in 2020, at that time itself, I want to build an app or a platform for uh, workplace communion, right? For
Yeah.
the workplace well-being, I wanted to build an app, and I approached some uh, like co-working spaces as well, right? I approached them for surveys, and I ended up doing nothing because at that time there wasn't many people who wanted to do that. And also at that same time only, Google Workspace was released.
Okay.
Google
Yeah.
Workspace was released. Yeah.
Yeah. Sir, what is your take on spirituality?
Oh, spirituality, I would say it is the primary essence because people treat it as a different thing. It is a different phenomena people treat it. So understanding is the basic thing of everything, right? So I don't see people who are adopting brahmacharya or doing various practices as spirituality. But spirituality lies in
Yeah.
understanding what it is, and implementing and resonating with everything that exists in this world. So that's what is spirituality.
Yeah. Sir, you're aware of psychosymbology.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, when I was in 10 years, that's when I had Google at that time, right? When I was 10 years old. So I used to research on metaphysical stuff. At that time, it was popular because we used to see Shaktiman, dramas like Mahabharata, Ramayana, everything. So I was very much dragged to this power, extraterrestrial power, metaphysical phenomena. So I used to research on this stuff. So at that time, only I learned this word psychosymbology, and later it was introduced by my uncle through a book called in Tamil. There is a book, small book, little book. It was given to me, Selva Throgo. I say. And then there is a psychosymbology voluminous book as well. So if you want to deeper understand psychosymbology, you can go for it. But the psychosymbology is all about interpreting symbols, right? So which power you want to attain in your life, either it's wisdom or it's fame or it's money. So you can target something and visualize it so that you will build the power over time. So I built the power for intuitiveness earlier in my early age. So that's what shaped me for in my work because I was very keen in understanding everything. So education played a major role in my life.
Yeah, I know I researched about this, but I haven't yet practiced it in any form. So maybe it
Yeah.
is time that I have to practice it.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, everyone has to practice it because spiritual techniques are all to be practiced by people. Uh, so, chants, right? There are spiritual chants like Mahamrityunja mantra, right? Mahamrityunja mantra, and there are Gayatri mantra. So, these kind of things are all universal. So everyone does that. Even foreigners also wants to adopt to Eastern spiritualism. So they are they don't get a support in their Western knowledge, but many are dragged to Eastern spiritualism. And I also see that our Easterns are also dragged to Western knowledge, like coaching, right? Coaching, and there are lots of things, right? So all these are Western's knowledge only. We
Yeah.
are whatever we
Yeah.
interact, everything is related to Western knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, sir, you aware of diffusion, right? Diffusion. So, the pressured. I mean, let's imagine the pressure in the home is high and pressure outside is low, and diffusion happens, and it goes equilibrium from outside and inside as well. So I feel like it is the diffusion is happening between West and East currently, and mm, uh,
yeah.
maybe few years down the line or few centuries down the line, it is going to be equilibrium in
Yes,
every state.
everything that is in the universe tends to converge, right?
Yeah.
There's a point of convergence. So yes,
Yeah.
whatever you said, that is right.
Yeah. Sir, I have one last question in segment one. So, if someone like me is overwhelmed by digital noise, so what internal shifts should I have to make so that I come out of the overwhelmingness?
Yeah,
Or
you have to, whatever digital noise you take is because you aren't practice or aligning your mindset to what you want. So if you know what you want, you will uh, get into your direction, right? For example, if you don't want to see unwanted posts or unwanted videos, right, you can just uh, like, I'm not interested to
I'm
see
not
this video.
interested.
So this
Yes.
would help. So
Yeah.
this is the initial step you have to take for alignment.
True. 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 And it will also bring visibility if someone doesn't know it. So do that and show and do that and try post something and then your post will go boom. Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean that was the end of segment one, and we are going to segment two now. So this is
Yeah.
more about your company. Yep.
Yes.
For someone hearing about Query Labs for the first time, what exactly are you building
We are building the communication for the world. uh, yes.
for the communication for the?
Communication for the betterment of the world. So it's a one liner we used to say, because Twirly Labs uh, started with education, right? Education and communication converges. Education is a way of uh, communicating better, right? Knowledge, I would say, right? Four step framework: informing and retrieving, analyzing and discussing, and the third one is enforcement, and the fourth one is regulation, right? So informing and informing and retrieving is what education does. Primarily, education does, it gives you knowledge, it sends you knowledge. So we are converging this. So our Query Labs was initially established as a technology app software development company to cater to education, and later uh, our journey was into communication, and also we wanted to improve the communication of institutions. That's when we found relevance and coherence, and every day Query Labs is shaping up. So if you want to look into what Query does, you can reach out to me. What Whoever sees it, I can explain you about what we are going to do. Uh, so we have a clear product roadmap of what
Yeah.
we are going to do.
Yeah.
So yes,
I will leave a link in the description anyway. So, sir, walk me through the typical uh, communication challenges in the campuses.
yes. So if you have you can segment the communication in campuses into two. One is internal communication that happens between the management and the employees, right? This is internal communication. And the student communication. That is a student communication. So your question is
Inside the campus, I mean both. I mean, let's say we are in a university. So how does your what are the challenges that that
challenges. Yes,
university is going to face?
yes. So that's what we are challenged by internal communication and student level communication. Internal communication, we need to organize more. And student communication, we have to inform it clearly, right? So at accurate time and for what the context is, students need to be informed, and this information has to be channeled correctly, right? This is what we call structured communication. Our
Yeah.
first objective is establishing structured communication, and the second challenge is uh, the decisions are very much flowing into organization in the internal communication level. So we are facing knowledge normalization at every level. So people are having becoming more aware now. So they are about to question it, right? So they won't take it like anyone else before. Before there is a very much distinction about who informs and who absorbs. So now everyone
Yeah.
is adapting to knowledge standards. That's when decision flows, and we need to establish decision continuity. So this is the second challenge, and the third is audit and governance. So when you have
Okay.
to, when very much information is flowing inside the organization, that's when you need to audit information. Which one is uh, which one is being decided appropriately, who is lagging behind, which team is lagging behind. So these are all practices that would take the standards of the organization to the next level.
True.
So this
True.
is not only a part where challenges should meet the solution immediately. So that's what the prior challenge we are seeing it in the industry.
Yeah. So what is the cost of miscommunication?
Yes, this one. So I want to be very precise about this because this coordination problem is more than the carbon emission uh, problem.
True.
So this
True.
human coordination problem is uh, costing 1.2 trillion dollars for the U.S. economy alone, whereas carbon emissions problem is costing $1 trillion.
Okay.
Anyhow, we think of
Okay.
a bigger thing, right? Carbon
Yeah.
emissions. So both are correlating at one point, which is uh, so humans are tendency, the tendency of humans that they don't take steps to solve these, right?
True.
So
True.
carbon emissions can't be solved very swiftly because people use a lot of gadgets, devices, objects, and everything, right? You can't take it out of them. And as well, but you can measurably uh, reduce these things when you shape communication better. That's what our approach in communication is.
Yeah. Why are WhatsApp and email not enough?
WhatsApp and email are not enough because, see, if you take WhatsApp, doesn't have a continuity layer. You don't track institutions. As an institution, if you go, you can't track what you have sent, right? What you have communicated before, who has communicated, what role, or how many decisions were taken. So these all can be elaborated in WhatsApp and emails as well. You can send notices of circulars, and that's it. The coordination part comes to WhatsApp. So WhatsApp needs to be managed, right? It doesn't provide a layer. So that's why WhatsApp and email is not the standard coordinating way, I would say.
Yeah. How does identity first software change the equation?
Identity first software change the equation. Yes, everything relates to identity, right? Who you are for the organization is more important than what you do, right? What you do becomes uh, negligible, right? Who
True.
you are in the organization. So that's how you enforce terms in the organization. So, and once you're enforcing terms in the organization, they needs to be regulated, they needs to be audited, they needs to be governed. So when there is a why of who regulates, right? Why of who regulates comes first, then everything down will appear to you very much clear.
Yeah. So, what does verified roles actually mean in practice?
Verified roles are nothing but you as an uh, organization head or a CEO must ensure that you have uh, you have a layer that treats your organization the same as you look, right? So you can't you when you are calling a manager, right? You can't see him as a just a name, right? So if you are calling someone as a name, then you are not establishing continuity in your organization. When you are seeing this starts at the very uh, beginner level in how you see or how you interpret your organization. That's where verified roles will come into play, and it establishes continuity in your organization.
Okay. So, are your primary customers colleges, corporates, or institutions? I mean, who
Our
feels
primary
the pain
customers,
most?
we are, as for our understanding and how we are driven, we approach colleges as our primary customers, because you can see clearly that there are lots of students studying in a college, right?
Yeah.
So managing, you have two levels of communication. One is internal communication, student level communication. Whereas in schools, if you see, student communication is managed by their parents only, mostly, right?
True. True.
Yes, so that's where we see the importance of uh, getting organized communication should be first in colleges. So then it can branch out to many other allied institutions as well.
Yeah. So, like corporates and institutions as well,
Yes,
government
definitely.
institutions or semi
Yes, yes,
other
yes.
institutions. So, what about the privacy part of it?
So everything is private only. So privacy is the must for every organization to run, right? So though we are building agentic layer, so in future, if you want to take the product to the next level, we have a roadmap to how to implement privacy and safety in the organization. That's where we stand apart.
Yeah, yeah, amazing, amazing. So, in the schools or in the organizations or in the colleges, who feels the pain most? Is it admins or faculty or students? And among these three, who are your best bet that they can adopt it?
So admins, I would say, because admins are the nodal point of contact, right?
True, true.
So then comes faculties who have messages from admins,
Mm-hmm.
and then comes students.
Mm-hmm.
So organizing this layer of students can be done very easy. They have separate classrooms. They have separate roll numbers. Everything is separated, right? Then comes, then if you
Mm-hmm.
see top level faculties. Faculty, you have to uh, So you can allocate faculty for this class and this class.
Yeah.
It depends on uh, admin, right? Admin
Yeah.
has to treat the student level, uh, how is being organized, how he is given a roll number, or how he is given some uh, uh, like enablement for like to access something. So it all starts from the admin level
Yep. Yep.
and
Yep.
it goes down.
Yep. 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 Like
it,
top down
it can
approach.
be so as I said. So if something is larger than something, then the larger thing will manage the smaller thing, and if the smaller thing gets better, that better thing will give influence to manage the larger thing. So that's how it works.
So there are already collaborative tools, right? Like Slack and some other communication platforms. So what makes Curly Lab structurally different from them?
Yes. Slack and every other device are treating organization not based on the continuity layer, I would say, because the continuity not only is in organizing based on your teams, like whatever they are given a name and they are seen as not a roles as well, but uh, the communication we see as threads, right? Lots of threads are there. So each role will communicate in their name, not based on their roles. So this is where clarity disease. So if you want a better clarity, you need to organize the entire organization. So that's when the clarity improves.
Yeah. Yeah. So what surprised you most during early conversations with institutions? Is it, I mean, and was resistance?
No, I don't see any resistance because um, the resistance, if at all there should be a resistance for something, it happens at the level of knowledge, right? If you can't give proper knowledge to someone to adopt your product, that's when resistance becomes visible. So if you're
Yeah.
going to give a proper understanding, so you don't you can avoid being so.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And what happens if every campus runs on identity first communication?
Yes, every campus should run on identity communication because that's when the standard of it improves. So currently, we are seeing campuses as uh, pockets of education. They are having a particular sect of people, right? Whoever they are, they might be classified into in terms of how they learn. The students are classified like that. But when standardized communication procedures and everything happen and more infrastructure get aligned, education is seen as a place of experience. They can
True.
show their culture, they can show their area of expertise. In that way students will be shaped better. That's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So, if it is okay for you, can you please take us through internal governance of your company and how can I structure internal governance of my company?
Yes, definitely. So okay, yeah, I agree with that. But I do believe in grassroots level of understanding about the leadership. So that's what my uh, point is, right? My way in seeing is not looking at the top level because the top level changes. The bottom level drives the leadership. You understand, right? So you have to understand people individually. When you get understanding about people individually, you don't think of leadership, right? You think of being communion. You
Yeah,
think about harmonious relationships,
true, true.
not just leadership. It is about
Yeah,
relationships.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, sir. So before I wrap up, I have one small segment of fun. So let's go through it. So
Yep.
most chaotic group you ever been in? You can say it. Is it group meaning? Is it family group or is it friend circle? Is it professional circle or was it in America? So what is the most chaotic and they wanna drag you everywhere and lot of fun is happening in the group. What is that group?
I don't think there is a group. When I was in primary school, um, I wasn't very much expressive that time.
Okay.
So I used to get dragged by teachers, right? Teachers, and as a result, by friends as well. Uh, I was some. There was one incident that happened to me. I was my Tamil sir was teaching me very seriously. That point was seriously, but something into me, I just laughed at it. So
Okay.
that's when
Okay.
I he threw the chalk piece on me, and
Yeah.
in my primary school as well. Though I did not get good marks, I was enrolled into tuitions where people, my gurus used to say, he's a good student. They used to say yes. So most of my groups were into like exploring stuffs, my
Yeah.
understanding, education, research, and exploration of uh,
Yeah.
lots of things. And for this meeting, today's meeting is more about startups and growth. We talk about
True.
that narrative,
True.
and when time, interest of time, we can talk things about a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
since I'm a kid, I used to get kicked out from the class and kicked out from the universities as well. So it is a new normal for me. I'm not that silent and good student, so to say.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that is fun. I mean, so what do you
Even
prefer?
even see. Though I was a good student, I even as have some like sometimes I don't do homeworks. So that was happening from early age. Like I studied in an Anglo-Indian school. My so the culture we are adopted with, that should have traversed and came to a stage, and immediate adoption of it would have caused some dissonance, I would say. So that's what changed a lot, and that what took time for me to educate, shape up in a better way, I would
Yeah.
say.
What do you prefer? Deep work in silence or deep work in background noise?
I prefer both because I'm adapted to both.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So you are adaptive.
Yes, I'm adapted.
So if not this, what system would you redesign again?
See, I would think uh, at that point in space, right? What interests people? That one, what interests people? If something interests at that time in space, I would approach you in that way. Yeah.
How do you use institutional intelligence in your company?
Institutional intelligence is what uh, we are creating, right? So ours is uh, more of coordination. First, we are creating the substrate for coordination, and then we are going to add programs where people have to get the mental clarity. So that's what we are approaching for the next stage.
Yeah, yeah, and I have my this is my last question. So, if an institution wants clarity in coordination, what's the first step they have to take?
They have to start looking at stuff. They have to start think very much precisely in what they do, right?
Yeah,
Even a small activity that does matter for an organization should be taken into account. And who has done this? From how how what has driven the person to do that. So it has to be decoded and organized. So that's when institutions and organizations will scale.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And um, I already asked you before, but I want to ask you again. Who are your primary customers?
I would say humans, because we are approaching uh, our first initial uh, point of the journey was from ethics of doing business. So that's how everything shaped up. And when I look back, so the products I haven't bought at every stage. I didn't build products, but I have done frameworks and everything. But from this point, I can clearly see that I have built products for them.
Yeah,
So I would say humans. I would say, because
yeah.
that's how I approach business as well.
And what books or what frameworks will you recommend for someone like us?
Okay, so I want to talk about an experiment that I would do. I have decoded this as a part of my education journey. So, for anyone who wants to get a solution, right, they have to have a self improvement book. Who's the Robin Sharma, right? Robin
Yeah.
Sharma book is there, and many others are there in self improvement space. So if you take any book and just open a random page, you will see the first line, right? Read the first line, which you can see, and that gives you a solution for what you are searching. So to enhance this level of learning, you need an alignment. You need to always think about growth. Don't think negative in your life. That's what I would say. So if you have an understanding in this way, you can see it upfront. So whoever are there, you can uh, get connected to me about this experiment as well,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
yeah, this one is
I will.
this is the basis which I designed my first app called Querly Micro Learning. We had all business courses in the app. So that's how Querly app was also designed.
So let's say if some of your target audience are watching it and
Yeah.
they wanna know more about it. So and in that case, where can they explore Query Labs?
Yeah. We do have a micro learning app currently, and that is called Querly.app. Instead of uh, getting into the app, first of all, they need alignment, right? If they need an alignment, whoever is watching this, they can approach me for questions. I'm not saying that I will be a guide for them, but one deepest thing that is rooted in them, if they can unlock it, then they can see, visualize where they are going. So in that way I can help people unlock their fears, or what has driven them. That way I can give a good orientation for them. So whoever interested can connect to me on LinkedIn, and we can discuss about this.
Yeah, yeah. I will share your LinkedIn profile in my description as well. So thank you so
Definitely.
much, sir. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming,
you.
and thanks
Thank
for
you.
your
Thank
time.
you.
Wish you
Thank you.
good luck, sir.
Thank you very much, Abhinan. Thank you.